Club of Jackson, Joe Wolf. Hi, Joe. Oh, sorry to interrupt your newspaper reading.
How you doing?
Good.
What's the name again?
Well, welcome back after a long absence. How long has it been?
Well, it's been 2 years with COVID. We couldn't, since we're touching things, we couldn't be, actually selling the Kiwanis newspapers, and then, the merchants didn't want us around. Nobody knew how to handle us, and so we didn't get any exemptions of any kind that we were allowed to sell. So we did a mailing campaign and did remarkably well. So, we're going to be back in the streets this year. This will be our 104th annual Kiwanis newspaper sale.
Wow.
We started in 1918.
That's
I remember
amazing.
it well. Seems like it anyways. But yeah, we've got 80 Kiwanis members that are going to be out pounding the sidewalks and standing in front of various stores this coming Friday.
This Friday.
This Friday the 16th. So look for us and be generous, because the proceeds from our newspaper sale buys roughly 400 plus pairs of shoes and boots for needy kids, which is it's pretty remarkable.
It is remarkable. Yeah. And really, there's no price on the newspaper because you set the price as a buyer. But in addition to the boots, shoes and boots for the kids, the amount of money and time that the club contributes to the community every year it's astounding, and it's all chronicled in this.
Well, it is. Yeah. If you looked at, I think it's page 3, we spent $124,600 towards improvements in Jackson area. And it could be anything from, we supported the new Y Center's expansion. We gave to Jackson School of the Arts. We do a lot of stuff for kids. That's our primary focus. Kiwanis is for kids. Mm-hmm. And it is remarkable how much energy, time, talent is given to our projects. And yet we have fun doing it. This newspaper sale, we'll be out there freezing everything off, but the reality is we do it with warm hearts, and we know that those dollars raised are going to fit 800 feet, 400 pair of shoes. So it's fun, and we get a lot accomplished, and it's very rewarding for us, and it's obviously good for the community.
Well, I know it's rewarding for Joe because I was a member of the Kiwanis at one time.
Yes.
And I joined in 1988.
Okay.
And you were the temporary interim secretary of the club.
Yes.
And you've held that position all these years.
Yes, since 1982. I don't know why I said I'd take it over, but I told him it was only a temporary position. I just haven't, I guess, found a replacement yet. But it's also kind of a nice position, because as secretary, you literally know every person in the club, which I find that really a lot of fun. So there's members that we don't see very often, but I know who they are for some reason.
And it's a healthy number. You've got 80 members right now. And
yes.
Another tradition of the club, I don't know if you've done this 103 years, but your annual Christmas skit, has that happened yet?
Oh, we did. We had it last Friday. There's the cast. I don't know if the audience can see that, but we had 14 members in the cast this year, largest ever. It was a takeoff on Ghostbusters, so you can see the people in the white outfits. Those were the Busters. There's a chorus.
Big part. You had a big part.
Well, I was actually I was a professor, Izzy Einstein, and we had next to me is Madame Rue, because she had to develop a love potion to get back some of the good people that Bob Johnson, the guy right in front, the Ghostbuster that accidentally sucked up some good people with some bad guys, so we had to get him back. It was kind of a complicated plot, but it was a lot of fun. Those are some of our 80 Kiwanis members that appeared in the skit,
Now,
and everybody had a good time.
yeah, I can see pretty much everyone in costume except George Veach has a
Yeah.
Michigan sweater on. How does that fit in?
Like I said, Bob Johnson sucked up some good guys, and he accidentally sucked up a Michigan football player, and George Veach came back as that player. But some of us debated whether that was a good guy or a bad guy. So it depends upon what side of the Spartan fence you're sitting on.
Well, I know one debate that you don't have every year when you're planning this event is whether it's in good taste or bad taste, because it typically does offend.
Oh yeah.
At least somebody. No, it's all in good fun.
It is.
Yeah. Now the actual paper sale itself, that specifically does the shoes and the boots.
Yes.
That all the money raised from that. So all the other money, which you list inside, I believe on page 3,
Yes.
goes to things year round, supported by other fundraisers.
Yeah.
What are some of the other things that the Kiwanis Club
Well,
does?
our largest fundraiser is our flag project. We have 1,300 flags that we put up at 5 different flag occasions, being Flag Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, and Veterans Day. And it's a flag service. So for $40, you can buy the flag service from Kiwanis, and then we put a flag in your yard for, it stays up for a week or two during each of those flag holidays. People love it.
I love it.
And
plus you do all the parks, and there's a lot of...
yeah, that's right. We have, actually there's some foundations that help us with the Cascades Park, the Ella Sharp Park. The hospital buys a bunch in front of, Michigan Avenue.
And your members, like Mary Lou McFadden,
McFadden?
will
Sure.
go around and plant the flags
Yes.
every holiday.
That's correct.
Wow.
That's right. Yeah, there's, I want to say 23 or 24 Kiwanis teams. A lot of us pair up. And we'll do 50, 60 flags per team. It takes a while. The kind of nice thing about that, we're given a time period. So it's not like, Saturday morning at 9 o'clock you have to be here. If you can fit that time period in your schedule, it gets done. Mm-hmm. So, I might do something on Wednesday, everybody else is doing it on Thursday, just because Wednesday fit my schedule on that flag thing. So, yeah.
There's the Kiwanis name is prominent in several places in the community, including the Kiwanis Park
Mm-hmm.
and the Kiwanis Splash Pad, and that's
Mm-hmm.
because you, as an organization, have funded those improvements.
That's correct. There's also the Kiwanis Disc Golf
That's
course
right.
at the Ella Sharp Park. And there's some other Kiwanis things around town, but not as prominent as those.
Definitely evidence that this club is very much committed to the community and very active.
Yes.
Always welcoming new members, though.
Always. Yep.
Do you have to act?
If anybody's interested, just come see me.
Where are some of the locations that you'll have Kiwanians peddling papers?
Well, the major ones would be Sam's Club, Walmart, Blaine's. They're a new one for us this year. We'll be downtown at the post office. Mm-hmm. We'll cover a lot of the Polly's store locations, the Jackson Crossing. Oh boy. We'll be out in front of Jackson Coffee Company early in the morning. I guess I'm sure there's others that it's just I can't.
Well, watch for the big blue
Yes,
bag.
we have blue bags, and
there's probably people that have never bought a newspaper from a street corner peddler.
well, and that's how the project originally began. Is that Kiwanis members would pay the street sellers back in the early 1900s because there was no home delivery at that time, and they paid the street sellers what they would have normally made that day, and then Kiwanians twisted the arms of the general public to get a little bit more than the nickel for the paper or whatever it was. And that became the tradition, and it morphed into our own special Kiwanis edition that talks just really about what Kiwanis does in the community for the community. So it's a great read.
It is. Everybody should own one.
Yes.
And pick them up on Friday. If you can't find one, we'll suggest you come downtown because there'll be several locations right downtown.
Absolutely.
And people want to come to the club and check out whether they want to join or not. They can go to the weekly meetings.
It's weekly at noon at the Cascades Manor House. All you have to do is show up. You can be our guest if you showed up with interest to, take part in Kiwanis. So
Great.
it's a fun time.
Well, Joe has been here every year that the Kiwanis has had their newspaper sales for the last 22 years, except for the 2 they didn't, right here
Yep.
in advance of Christmas. That's a great tradition, and we appreciate it.
I love it.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming in, Joe. And thanks to all the Kiwanians for all they do for our community. From the Kiwanis Club of Jackson, Joe Wolf. Well, that's it. We've run out of time. Thanks, Joe. Thanks to
Okay.
everybody with us here today. We hope that you can come back here tomorrow. In the morning, we have David and Heather Goolsby from the